Hello traders and welcome back to today's daily watch list. My apologies for the past couple of days without daily watch list, but I had quite the issue with my gear. My videos wouldn't render, so I had to take it to the shop. But now I'm back, and we're going to start by looking at the DXY. We had the ADN non-farm payrolls change, and it was better than expected. So the US dollar continues to rally. Now, we are going to look at the DXY on the 4-hour chart, the hourly, etc. And what's interesting about this is the immediate correlation between the DXY and gold. In the sense that, if you look at the hourly in the DXY, right, and you look at the hourly in gold, the existing correlation or negative correlation between the two assets is it's still valid, of course, right? But whilst the DXY continues to make new highs, gold kind of is printing a base. I'll show you in a while. Now let's have a look at the 4-hour chart in the DXY. We are looking at a retest of the previous weekly highs and this week's highs. If not a break of those highs, we are looking for US dollar longs and longs only. At the moment, we are in a US dollar Japanese yen short, however, but our stops are at half risk, which is a great thing. But because the US dollar is rallying, right? Now we are expecting the DXY to hit that 92.40 level, which are the previous week's highs and this week's highs. And a possible break above those highs after that flag pattern broke to the upside, right? We do have non-farm payrolls this Friday, so heads up to that. Gold is rallying at the moment, breaking with the previous range. I'll show you that in a minute, right? Why don't we go ahead and have a look at gold now? This is quite interesting, right? What's happening in this market, because we saw gold print a very nice base. Now, there's a lot of buyers jumping in the gold market at the moment at those lows. I'm actually going to be sending a... no, it's too early to send a signal to buy into this weakness. We are going to wait and see what happens, right? Yeah, we are seeing gold forming a base at these previous lows, right? We continue to print that heavy bullish divergence, right? After that spike down, where price took out some very weak longs. For example, it took out all the stops below those lows, all the stops below those lows, all the stops below the previous week's high, and all the stops below the previous or the weeks before's highs, right? We are seeing some spikes in this market. Now, if we look at the hourly in gold, we are still at that 261.8 of the previous range, and also I am going to add that level in my chart. Just a second. These highs with these lows, which are the retest level in gold. So if we look at the hourly, let's look at the hourly. What's going on here? We are still non-directional in this market at the moment, and the reason that it would be against the system to send a signal to buy into this weakness is because of this, right? We would have to be a buyer above this week's highs, and we need to take always profit at the next key level, which would be the 1775, and the risk to reward ratio on this trade would be off. Now, what we are going to do now, however, is try to find a moment to buy into a possible, or what seems to be a possible breakout, right? Now, let me show you what I'm looking at the moment. Right, I'm looking at this possible breakout of this formation at the bottom of the move, right? We are printing a higher low on the hourly, right? This is important. We are printing a higher low on the hourly, whilst the indicator or the oscillator at the bottom is printing kind of the flat lows, right? So we do have some mild bullish divergence at the bottom of the move, and you can see that it is, however, a very structured move to the downside. Now, this is the immediate structure in gold. I'm not talking about anything else but the immediate structure, and inside this structure, we do also have another triangle structure-ish that we could be looking into as a breakout, right? But if you look at this, well, the lower structure, right, or the smaller structure inside the bigger structure, or let's call it the pattern inside the structure, because the structure is the bearish structure and the pattern is this triangle formation, right? We could see another bounce to the downside before the actual breakout, and also bear in mind that this is could also be a bear flag. Now, because of the non-existing correlation in the very short term between the DXY and gold, and all the buyers that I have seen jumping in at the moment, well, it's going to be very, very hard for sellers to break below that 1752. But this is what I'm looking at, a possible reversal here in this market, at least to retest that weekly pivot at 1780. Now, let's move on to silver. Silver is very much the same. Well, we got stopped out of that silver long on the VIP group. But, you know, silver, it's basically the same thing, you know. This massive base at the bottom of the bearish move is quite interesting, and more so because we are seeing a possible breakout of, or the possible breakout out of the structure is, well, is going to possibly happen quite fast in silver. Should buyers push price higher, right? We need that. We need buyers to break with the previous broken level, of course, the weekly pivot, and so. But if you notice, this move in silver is much more solid than in gold. Right, same story, same structure at the bottom of the move. Let's wait and see what happens. You know, this is the story in gold every time. I'll show you the 5-minute chart so you can see what's going on in this market right here. Every time buyers pick up price up, boom, sellers crush it down. So let's wait and see what happens with this. With this move today, and let's move on from metals and let's have a look at. Let me just go back to the hourly. And let's have a look at some major currency pairs. The GBPUSD, pretty interesting. The area where it is bouncing at the moment. This is the hourly, of course, on the pound versus the US dollar. We continue to be inside of this structure in the pound USD. Pretty solid bear structure, but we are seeing some. Let me just pull this one right here. There you go. Pretty solid bullish structure, if you ask. Very structured, if you ask me. But we are seeing some very heavy buyers at the bottom of this move. However, we are not going to look at or not going to see a definite reversal unless we break with that 138.95 area, right? And price continues to rally, right? So what I'm looking for, or what I'm looking at, is the possible, after this double bottom, right? A possible breakout here for a continuation. Here is where we will be adding and looking for more longs. USDCAD, yeah, USDCAD pretty hard trade actually. I have not said. I mean, I have been looking for shorts, and I was looking for shorts here. That trade did not pan out, in the sense that we didn't find an entry, right? And right now, we are trading in the middle of nowhere, in the sense that we are retesting these lows right here. But I'm no longer looking for shorts, since more than 75% of the move to the downside has been erased, right? So maybe I will be looking for longs at the retest of the 123.50 right here, and that weekly pivot. That would be a very good zone to take to look for longs, in the sense that we are going to be retesting this previous level right here. So I will be adding a very nice oh boy, alert. There you go. Key level retest, right? So yeah, I will be sending that to a VIP. And let's finish up this weekly market breakdown, or daily market, or daily watch list, I'm sorry, by looking at, well, the Euro USD. Not interested in the Euro USD, the US dollar Swiss franc, that we are in the money on the US dollar Swiss franc. We are going to be moving stops just higher right now. I will be sending that in a second. And yeah, I mean, let's finish up by looking at some Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still very, I'm still bullish Bitcoin. We are still in that long in Bitcoin at the breakout. We kind of fake out of the previous week's highs, but we printed a new higher, a new weekly high. And a higher weekly high. I'm sorry. So that is very bullish. And right now, on the short term, this level is still very much holding, right? So anything above the 34,000 level still very much bullish for me. And as you can see, buyers keep jumping in here. Yeah, buyers keep jumping in here. We might get a new leg up to retest at least that 38,000 level that I keep talking about, and a final possible breakout of this pattern, right? This structure that we have been trading in. So stay tuned for that. We will be managing that trade, right? So thank you, and yeah, I will be going live for that for the non-farm payrolls Friday.